clearly this is a company that could handle having a union in the workplace, but they don't want to because they can get away with it here because of our terrible labor laws, and so they've been doing everything that they can to keep the union at bay.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
The UAW is, they are in their, Standup 2.0. That's the name of the campaign that they're going with now, as they are trying to organize the unorganized in the non-union auto sector. They're going after 13 non-union companies right now. They have dropped cards nationwide at all of these locations. We went into detail about like the general plan and all of this kind of stuff last week. And the first location to go public with their campaign is Volkswagen in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Let's play this video that they created with Volkswagen workers in Chattanooga.
15 years ago, Volkswagen came to Tennessee. It meant a lot to our community. It meant a lot to us. We knew that in Germany and around the world, VW jobs meant good jobs. We knew that in Kentucky and Texas and right here in Tennessee, auto jobs meant secure jobs. But in the past 15 years, that's not what we got here in Chattanooga. The pay isn't keeping up. The benefits aren't what they should be. The question isn't why do auto workers at Volkswagen across the world get a better deal than us in Tennessee? And the question isn't why do GM workers in Spring Hill or Ford workers in Louisville get a better life? The question is, why don't we? For years, we've tried to leave this place better than we found it. We've tried to stand up for our coworkers, for our families, for Chattanooga. And for years, the company and their big money allies have tried to keep us down. But times have changed, and our time is now.
There's no question that the workers won here. These are major, major gains that, well, auto workers have not seen in decades.
Auto workers at Volkswagen in Chattanooga are ready to stand up. That's why we're announcing that over 1,000 of us have signed our union cards, and we're telling the world we're VW, we're UAW, and we're ready. Auto workers across the country are ready to fight for a better life, a better job, a better future. We're ready to stand up and join the UAW, and we're asking you to stand with us.
There you go, folks. Over 1,000 Volkswagen workers in Chattanooga, Tennessee have already signed union cards. That's over 30% of the workforce at that plant. So really, just huge news there. UAW.org/join is where you can sign a authorization card if you're a Volkswagen worker or a Toyota worker here in Huntsville. And if you're a Toyota worker here in Huntsville, then call us. Give us a call. Love to hear from you and hear about what's going on over there in Toyota. But Volkswagen, on their site where you can sign these cards, UAW.org/join, they have a section devoted to each corporation, each non-union auto company. And the Volkswagen section, and all of these sections are like kind of breakdowns of the profits and the executive pay and all of this stuff. And so Volkswagen, their profits are up more than 60% over the last 3 years. Their vehicle prices have soared by more than 40%. VW workers in Tennessee, however, are being left behind while just 13 top executives rake in a combined $60 million. It's time for VW workers to stand up and fight for more. So there you go, folks. UAW.org/join if you're a Volkswagen worker in Chattanooga, Tennessee, or if you're a non-union automaker, auto worker anywhere across the country. Luis Leon, much like he had the definitive article on the announcement of Stand-Up 2.0, he has the definitive article on the Volkswagen card drop. It's in labornotes.org. The title of the article is Inspired by Strike Wins, 1,000 Volkswagen Workers Sign Union Cards. And so one of the things that he does well that's important is he talks about some of the history at the Volkswagen plant. He doesn't dive really deep into it, but if you want to deep dive into what happened at the Volkswagen plant, then you got to go to labornotes.org again, and you got to search for Chris Brooks. Chris Brooks has the definitive history on the Volkswagen campaigns by the UAW in 2014 and 2019. There have already been UAW campaigns at Volkswagen. And so Luis talks about how the two previous attempts fell short, but they fell short very narrowly. Unlike UAW attempts at other non-union automakers, like at Nissan, it was 2-1 against the union, a very big defeat. At Chattanooga, at the Volkswagen facility, it's very close. In 2014, they only lost by 86 votes. In 2019, they lost by only 57 votes with a 93% turnout. So, just really gut-wrenching losses there. There were 1,700 workers at the plant then, and now there are almost 4,000 workers. Almost 4,000 workers at the plants today. They build the Atlas and Cross Sport SUVs, as well as the electric ID4.
Hey, 5 seconds. Just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate.
In 2015, a smaller group of skilled trades workers won their election by a vote of 108 to 44, joining UAW Local 42, which formed as a minority union following the 2014 loss, but the company refused to negotiate with a smaller unit, delaying in the courts, and the UAW quietly jettisoned the effort, filing instead for a full unit in 2019. So that's kind of, and what a big reason that they still lost in 2019 was, and in the 2014 as well, is that there was a huge mobilization of the political and cultural elite in Chattanooga. The governor came and delivered an anti-union speech at the plant on behalf of the company. I mean, that's just a crazy level of collusion with, the powers that be on behalf of the company. And this is a German company, right? Where their operations overseas in Germany are unionized. And so clearly this is a company that could handle, having a union in the workplace, but they don't want to because they can get away with it here because of our terrible, terrible labor laws. And so that they've been doing everything that they can to keep the union at bay. Cochran, who was one of the minority union members in the skilled trades department, told NPR in 2019 how outside anti-union groups tried to smear the union drive by tying the organizing to the FBI's raid of the home of UAW President Gary Jones, who was later convicted of embezzling union funds and tax evasion. And that is, that's such important context, because now they're not going to have that anymore because of the new leadership. Thanks to one member, one vote in the UAW, the leadership is new, the leadership is clean, and they've been fighting at the Big Three and winning really great contracts. And so it's going to be a lot more difficult, to smear the UAW with the crimes of the past when it's a totally different leadership team. So that's going to be really helpful, I think, in the campaign. Luis quotes Billy Quigg, a production team member in assembly at the Chattanooga plant, who was also involved in the minority union. Among his top reasons for backing the union push are forced overtime on Saturdays and a lack of time off. He was one of the 700 Volkswagen workers who signed a June 2022 petition demanding the company, quote, do better on quality of life issues related to our schedules. Volkswagen workers have met the first of 3 milestones in the UAW's organizing plan. 30% have signed union cards. Once they reach 50%, then union leaders, community allies, and family members are going to rally the workers in public displays of the committee's strength and community support. And at 70%, and after having built up their organizing committee to include workers from every shift and job classification, workers will present the company with a choice. Voluntarily recognize the union, or workers will file for a union authorization election supervised by the National Labor Relations Board. So a very clear plan, moving very quickly. I mean, over 1,000 cards in less than a week. That's huge. So things are moving very quickly at Volkswagen in Chattanooga.
We might be making a trip to Chattanooga soon.
Yeah, that's it's only an hour and a half away. So I wanted to wrap this up by another video that the UAW put out more generally about the campaign. And so, you know, if you're a non-union auto worker listening to this, you're taking a look at what's happening at Volkswagen in Chattanooga. You know, here's another little push to join the UAW. Let's play this.
These hands.
These hands. These hands.
These hands punch the clock.
These hands work the lines.
These hands build the cars.
And every dollar in profit these companies make
is made by these hands.
Whether at Toyota,
Hyundai, Mercedes,
Volkswagen,
Rivian.
America's auto workers are at a crossroads.
When the big three auto companies refuse to share their record profits,
auto workers got to organize.
For over 40 days and nights,
auto workers at Ford, GM, and Stellantis held the line and won big.
There's only one question facing America's auto workers now. Who's got next?
These hands don't belong to any company.
They don't belong to GM.
They don't belong to Toyota.
They don't belong to Tesla.
These hands belong to an auto worker. And these hands will determine what happens next.
This is our generation's defining moment.
Either we organize and stand up for ourselves,
or we keep falling further behind. Either we fight for a decent standard of living,
or we sit down and shut up.
As long as we're divided, we're weak.
But united, we can move mountains. It's time for auto workers from all companies to join together.
From Illinois
to Alabama, from Mercedes
to Toyota.
It's time to stand up.
All of us
as united auto workers.
So there you go. Really exciting stuff. And the comms department at the UAW continues to put out incredible videos.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, great work on that UAW comms department. Yeah, great work getting those workers there and involved in it. I think it was really powerful to see and to hear from folks from all over. Of course, love the Alabama presence.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really appreciated that. I think it's effective. It would convince me. Granted, I'm biased, but
you would have taken a lot to be pushed over the line, though.
Right.
So that says a lot. That would convince you, Adam. I know that you're very skeptical. Of these
you know, if I'm like, you know, pretending to be a persuadable audience, it worked. So I really hope it's working. And yeah, absolutely for auto workers in the area. If you are union curious, go to uaw.org/join. You are, of course, welcome to reach out to us. And we would love to connect with people in the auto industry here in Alabama, especially those of you local in the Tennessee Valley here at Toyota Mazda, but also, Mercedes, Hyundai, wherever. If you're working in the auto industry in Alabama, in the South, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to connect with you. And most importantly, we'd love for you to be connected with UAW.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project. And you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.